Okay, today, guys, or for me tonight, but tonight, I'll be reacting to Sega the Youngin' Man Goes Insane Inside a Restaurant animated story. So, let's jump right into it.
I have a pretty funny and insane story, and this takes place inside of a restaurant. And what happens in this story is probably one of the craziest things I've ever seen happen in a restaurant ever. And I was 13 when this happened, so I was just all the more confused and just thinking like, what is even happening right now? But on this particular night, I was going with my family to eat somewhere, and the way I was expecting it to go is we walk in, order some food, wait like 15 minutes for our food to come out, eat our meal, and then leave. But the way it ended up, it did not go that way at all, not even close. So the place we went to was like this Mexican restaurant. It was like a locally owned place, and it started out normal, right? The shenanigans didn't start right away. But we walk in, and the lady up front seats us, and I had eaten at this place before, and it was a decent sit-down restaurant. And when you go out to eat, there's different levels, there's degrees to it, in terms of how you expect the quality of your experience to be. Any place that's fast food is automatically on the lowest level. If you choose to go eat at like a McDonald's or a Taco Bell, there's a decent chance that something is gonna somehow go wrong at some point along the way. Whether they mess up your order like 10 times, someone might get into a fight and disrupt your meal, there might be a crackhead that's going crazy outside the window, anything could happen really. Because the most random and weird things have happened to me at fast food restaurants before. And all of those things I just named have all been things that have happened to me. I can't always be expecting a perfect experience every time. I mean, the workers themselves are probably barely invested in their job, so they aren't doing anything to make sure you have a good experience. But then there's the opposite of that. The places where, like, the cost of your meal could buy you, like, 80 meals at McDonald's.
Okay. He's talking about McDonald's. What is the biggest issue? There's such a big issue with McDonald's that, like, the ice cream machine's always broken. They always get your order wrong. Why? Whatever. Let's continue.
McDonald's, but it's worth it because the food is quality. They're not gonna mess up your order. Everybody there is gonna be well behaved, and it's basically a guaranteed good experience. But I'm over here a broke boy, so I can't say I have any experience with those types of restaurants. But if I were to go, I know I could expect a shenanigan-free time. And then there's the middle ground, the places that don't fit into either category, and it could go either way. You could walk in, and there's little kids throwing food everywhere, the server could accidentally drop all your food on the ground, or everything could go fine too. And this particular restaurant, it was in the middle category, so it wasn't above having shenanigans go down there. But like I said, I had eaten there before, and everything had gone smoothly in the past, so I'm expecting the same to happen this time, right? And when they seated us, they put us in one of those booths where there's a wall on one end, but in the wall, and this will be important later, there's like a little glass pane, so it wasn't totally blocked off. You could still see through to the other side, and you could also still hear the sound from the other side too, because the wall only went up a few feet. It was more of just like a divider, I guess, not really a full wall. So I can see and hear what's going on the other side, but I have no reason to pay attention to it, because nothing was happening over there, or at least not yet. So everything was going normal. We get our food, we start eating, and we had only been eating for like 5 minutes, right? And then I hear a scream, followed by what sounds like a glass hitting the floor. So I'm putting those two sounds together in my head, and I'm thinking like, oh, somebody probably just accidentally dropped a dish or a glass or something. It's no big deal. It happens all the time at restaurants. I don't even think I turned around to look. And less than 10 seconds later, the exact same thing happened. A loud scream, followed by a glass being smashed. And now I'm thinking, like, something's not right. Do you know how clumsy you have to be to knock over 2 glasses back to back within like a 10-second span? Which I've actually done before. But anyways, I'm thinking like, what's going on over there? So I look through the little glass pane in the divider to see what's happening on the other side. And I just see this guy really abruptly shoot up from his chair. He picks up one of the few remaining glasses on the table that wasn't broken and just throws it straight down to the floor. Like he just chucked it straight down. And he did not look happy either. And at this point, everyone's attention in the entire restaurant has turned to the area that he's in. My guy just yeeted 3 glasses straight to the ground while screaming like a demon was coming out of him or something.
Oh my
God. Then he starts fighting one of the other guys that's at the table with him. Like just straight up throwing punches at him, while still yelling at the top of his lungs, by the way. And I just kind of thought that the two of them must have gotten in some sort of argument or something, and they were going at it right there in front of everyone. But as I kept watching, it didn't really seem like a fight. Like the other guy just looked as confused as everyone else and was just trying to defend himself. And luckily, the crazy dude stopped attacking him shortly after he started. And then the
Dang.
level of chaos was taken to a whole nother level. This man, I kid you not, literally picks up a plate and frisbee throws it straight into the bar that was like a good 15 feet away from him. And keep in mind, there's no context as to why he's acting like this. From everyone else's perspective, this is just a random outburst. And at this point, a couple employees that worked there and some other random guy, they started to close in on him to contain him because he just frisbee threw a plate into their bar. So he's still yelling his lungs out. They start to move in for the capture, and I thought they had this wrapped up. They were pretty big guys, and I gotta be honest, I thought that this is where it ended. But then, he literally moves forward really fast and then jukes them out. He literally juked out the two employees and the other guy. And to make it worse, he did that while his hands were full because he was holding a plate in one hand and a glass in the other. It was actually pretty good coordination, I can't lie. But anyway, so now he's on the run and armed with glass dishes, and now people are starting to run the opposite direction out the restaurant because nobody was trying to get a glass hurled at their head or something. And it's still unclear what exactly is going on. Like this whole time I'm thinking to myself, what is even happening right now? And then he finally stops making the loud obnoxious noises, but then just starts yelling snake. Like using the full power of his lungs, just screaming, snake, snake, there's a snake. And I'm sure you guys saw this one coming, but he throws the plate on the floor full speed, supposedly at where the snake is, and it shatters into like a million pieces. And obviously there was no actual snake. There wasn't even anything that looked like a snake or could be mistaken for a snake. There wasn't even anything at all. It was just an empty floor. And he does the same thing with the glass, points to a spot on the floor, and then yells, somebody get that snake! And then chucks a glass at a completely different spot. I guess the snake was moving around a little bit. So this dude is going crazy, absolutely insane. Everybody that's inside is now trying to get outside. I was with my mom and she was like, yeah, we have to get out of here too. So we all dip out of there. Everybody else is running out, covering their heads to protect from any potential flying glass projectiles. And as we were getting out, the cops pull up. I'm assuming some employee from the restaurant called the cops as soon as he started his fit, because they got there pretty fast. And the cops rush inside, and we're in our car now, and we're just kind of watching for a bit from the car. And the cops did their thing pretty quick, because they came out with the guy pretty soon after they went in, and he's obviously handcuffed and flailing back and forth. And then I think they put him inside the car and drove off. And so now, the reason why we had to leave the restaurant isn't there anymore. So we all just kind of decided we might as well go back in and finish our meal. And we did exactly that. We went back in, and I remember there was one group, one family, that didn't even leave the restaurant the entire time. They were kind of sitting across from us. Glasses and dishes are literally getting hurled through the air across the room. But they're just like, nah, we're chilling. This isn't important enough to make us stop eating our burritos. But once we walked back in, there's shattered glass and plates everywhere. Dang. And then some lady that worked there said one of the cops thought it was related to either a withdrawal or he was on something. But whatever the case, I hope he ended up alright. And then I sat back down, and you best believe I finished eating my cold beans. And that's all for this story.
Alright, well, that was kind of short. Hope you guys enjoyed. Please like and subscribe. Video coming out tomorrow. Around 12. So yeah. That'll be my locker review. And yeah. So see y'all guys in the morning. Or I might just post another video, man. This is how bored I am. I might just post another video. Whatever. Bye bye.